for balance.
Yeah. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
So actually within the last week, I got 4. So 2 on Sunday and then 2 on Thursday. So again, today I'll be talking about recruiting. And so I'm sure you guys can agree, if you're going to play a game and you want to win that game, you better know the rules and the strategies to win it, right? And so, okay, so new people is the life and blood of our business. And so if you work for yourself by yourself, technically you're self-employed. And last week I talked about how if you want passive income and you want flexibility of time, or in other words, better standard of living, then you need to have either be a business owner or an investor. And big businesses are not only determined by how profitable it is, but also by the amount of people that works in it, right? So I wanted to start off real quick with what I've been reading and listening to, because people are not just sold to the opportunity, they're also sold to you, right? To work with you. So how you come across is extremely important. If you think about it, your presence, your aura as like a language, the only people who are going to understand you and like you are also the people who speaks the same language as you, right? So the better you become, the better people you can attract and the more people you can attract as well. So I'm reading How to Win Friends and Influence People again by Dale Carnegie, great book. And then also I'm listening to Bill Arender's Build It Like Art on SoundCloud. It's free. It is awesome, super, super good audio. Highly recommend that. So next, so today I'm going to give you guys an outline of exactly what I do from the phone call to the close for the IBA. Okay, so we have something called the theme script, that you guys can ask your leader, whoever your direct trainer is, for it. But at the end of this theme script, this is what I say, because especially because I call a lot of corporate people when they ask me like, what's the job description and blah, blah, blah. By using this, I found that I've gotten that less. So I say what we do here is we help families make and save money. We do provide very hands-on training for all of these concepts. What we're looking for is someone that we can train to not only help our clients with their financial needs through our technology and tools, but to also potentially be in a leadership role. Later on, we do have a lot of room for growth. What we look for most are people skills, customer service skills, and leadership qualities. We have both part-time or full-time available, both which are remote. It's mainly work from home. We do run a hybrid schedule where we only meet once or twice a week in person. Does that sound like something you would like to consider or get more information about? They say yes, great. So what I'd like to do is, and what I feel will be the most beneficial for you to get all of the details that you need a few times a week. Our managers host business overviews where they will be going over all of the details of the role. This way, if everything looks good, we can schedule a follow-up interview to go over further details. Does that sound fair? Right? And then I tell them tomorrow or the next day or Saturday. Okay. So the 2 objections that I usually get, I only really get these 2 objections. One is I'm not looking for work, or I'm not really keeping my options open. I'm looking for something more specific. So what I say is we have a very flexible, I just wanted to let you know that we have a very flexible part-time opportunity that is work from home. Are you currently keeping your options open to make additional income? And more than half of people actually say yes, even though they were closed off in the first time. And then I run the script that I just said earlier. Okay, and then the other one is it commission or salary? So to that I answer, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the financial industry, but we do get paid in 5 different streams of income. We do get paid in commissions, but also bonuses, stocks, residual income through investments, and overrides as well. Shaquille will go over this in more detail during the webinar. And if you still have questions, I promise I'll go over them with you after. right? You don't want to answer all of the questions over the phone. It gets too confusing and they become uninterested anyways. So then during the follow-up, so after what I do is I schedule people to our webinar. So basically it's the live op but recorded. And after they watch it, I meet with them immediately, like as soon as possible. So these are the questions that I go over with the people. So I ask first, everyone knows this, right? So what were you more interested in? Making more money, helping more people, or both? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your desire to work with our company? I got this from Shaq and it works so well. So 1 being that was great information, just not for me, or 10 being that was really great and I would like to give it a try at least part-time. And people will either say 1 or 10 instead of like the numbers in the middle, which makes it really easy to just know who you're working with. So number 3 is tell me a little bit about yourself, right? I want to kind of know what their market is like, what their background is like, what interested you most, again, so I can hit the hot button when I do try to close the IBA. 5 is, have you ever thought about running your own business, right? You want to know whether or not they're entrepreneurial and you can have more of that recruiting talk with them. 6, do you have any other questions or would you like to just know more about the next steps? And then I say I work directly with Shaquille, so I am allowed to qualify you. However, he is still the one who accepts all the applications, so he just won't accept any applications unless you can just verbally commit to these 3 things. So number 1 is getting licensed. And I typed this up for you guys into a script as well, okay? So use it. But number 1 is licensing. Licensing. Because would you trust someone with your money that doesn't have a license? No. So these are really expensive. If you pay by yourself, they can run up to $800 to $1,000, if not more. But the good thing here is that we do help sponsor. So we take care of most of that cost for you. You're only responsible for 124. And in order to do that, you need to pass a background check. Do you have a clean background? Yes. Great. So there will be 100 questions, multiple choice. You only need 70% to pass. So that's a C passing grade. Do you have any trouble with taking exams? Right. And then number 2 is orientation. I want to schedule you for our orientation within the next 24 hours. Today you learned about who we are and what we do. During orientation, you're going to learn more about how we do things. And then number 3 is weekly trainings. So these are on Saturdays from 9:30 to 11 a.m. It's the only time that we meet together as a group in Tyson's. So this is really important because this will ensure that you continue to grow and make more money with us. Is there anything here that you wouldn't be able to commit to? And if they say no, I will schedule them for the orientation. So I'm not sure if everyone uses the Level Up orientation campaign on here, but for those who do use it, I will sit there and make sure that they sign on to it and go over all, like just show them like these are all of the videos, just to make sure that they understand how to use it. And I found that helped a lot with the amount of people that watch it more. So right after that, I scheduled the Fast Start meeting the day after, right? So within 24 hours. So assuming that they finished watching the orientation, we'll meet for the Fast Start meeting, and these are the 2 closing questions. So did you have any other questions, or are you just ready to get started? Ready to get started. Okay, great. So are there any reasons why we wouldn't be able to get you started today, or submit your application with us today, and that will go in with 124 so that we can get you licensed with us? And if they say no, then we just go on with the IBA, and that's it. But all of this is not going to matter unless you put in consistent activity, right, you guys? So I hope you use it.
Okay, hold on. So because she said a lot of good stuff, right? But I don't want to gloss over this. So who in here do you have any new people in here? Okay, so Reba, this is interesting. Okay, so when she called you, this is exactly what she said, right?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. This is your first meeting here?
Yes.
Okay. So she called you. She said this. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'm just using it. Okay. And you maybe had some questions. And then she said this. Then she had you watch a video. Okay. She sent a link. Ariba watched the video. And then afterwards, she asks you these exact questions here. Right? And then explains what is going to happen next. And then basically, are you ready to sign up? So how do we still have questions about recruiting after this? Because the questions that I get from people, or I hear people asking is, what do I say? How do I explain it? What do I show them? What do I say after? How do I get them to such and such? This is it. It's a few sentences, a few slides. And you know what's interesting here is 99% of this isn't even from the person. You can literally read off of it. People that want to do something they're going to figure out a way to do it, right? This is the information. You're going to choose whether you want it, because what I would do is, if I'm, if I'm Bao, or anybody in here, I would say, anytime I hired someone, I'd be like, hey, if you were starting a business right now, who are the top 10 people that you would want in your business? The sharpest, the smartest, the most ambitious, the most money motivated, right? Who are the people that you would love to hire under you? Doesn't even have to be friends. It could be people you work with, people that you played sports with, adults in your life, younger people in your life, right? As long as they're over 18, what kind of core would you put together if you were running a company and you would benefit off their talent, right? And then they would give me those names and numbers, and I would call them and I would say exactly this. I'd say, hey, we're looking for people. Oh, I'm not, this is exactly what we do. And when they say I'm not looking, or I'm not keeping my options open, hey, it's flexible, it's part-time, at least just get some more information. And maybe they have some more questions, but the point is I want to get them to the video, which will then give me the chance to follow up, answer questions. Not everybody's going to do it, but a lot of people are. So this, systematically basically answers all of our questions for how we recruit, train, and develop people. And I know that when you are, an employee in a normal role, all of this stuff sounds kind of weird, but if you've ever worked in HR, or you've ever worked for a company that recruits, which is every company, if you talk to people in that department, this is exactly what they do. I know people, they're corporate recruiters that work for corporations, and their entire job is to go through LinkedIn and send people these scripts. And then when they get in touch with the person, they have a script for what they say on the phone. Everybody you talk to, every phone call you get is scripted. You guys understand that, right? People feel weird using a script. You're being scripted every day, every single day. When you go into retail, when you go into the bank, when someone cold calls you, when you get a spam call, when you get a real call, when you call outbound, everything is a script. You got to start understanding this is how the world works. And eventually, when you learn a script versus improvising for everything, you sound natural. Was she standing up here and reading? No, it was up here and she was telling you because she's memorized it. And guess what? She didn't invent this stuff. She's using the stuff that she was given and that she learned. And now she's teaching us, right? So now you know what to say, you know what to do, you know how to do it, you know when to do it. The question is, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? That's it. And a lot of people won't, and that's okay. That's why only 5% of people make real money. That's it. It's your decision. But there's no shortage of information and resources here. The only shortage is people's ambition and their will, right? What's the cliche? When there's a will, there's a way. We're teaching you the will, the way. The question is, do you have the will? That's okay. Maybe not right now. Maybe you need something to happen in your life, right? But this is the time. It doesn't get any simpler than this, right? You have anything else? You guys have any questions for her?
So, Val, do you use the 17-minute video?
No, I use
Animated or use Shaq's webinar?
I use Shaq's webinar. Yeah.
It's interchangeable though,
Yes.
right? It's interchangeable, whether she uses Shaq's video or whether she uses, and that's a great question. I know a lot of people were thinking that because I know, Josh, your team, you exclusively use an animated video, right? and there's other people who use Shaq's webinar. I talked to Shaq, I got his permission. He doesn't mind which one we use. And you know what? The follow-up questions are going to be the exact same regardless of which video they watched, right? So that's a great question, but it's interchangeable. If you think one is more impactful than the other, then you can do that.
So one
Right.
more question, Val, sorry. So, you know, I was listening, I promise you. It was a Tagalog version, but anyway. Do you, like, I was a little confused when you said if you do the video, then you still have them come to that Saturday with the live one here in Tyson?
Sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes, but not always.
So if they've already signed up,
Just
then
whatever-
there's no point, right, in bringing them there?
Right, yeah. If they got their IBA in, then there's no point. But if they don't have their IBA in, I might just do it again, just so it's like double the information, you know, to get them interested. Yes, Josh?
So I don't know if this is being recorded or not, but you think we could do like a quick role play from start to finish for the phone call?
Do we have time for that?
That's how it's the most important.
For the phone calls?
Not phone, the whole thing right here. Yeah, just the phone call where you're scheduling a recruiting appointment.
I don't know if Shaq wants me to do that.
Well, we'll do that another time. Give it up for Val. The thing is that in life and in business, you can outwork your deficiencies. You know what I mean? I know I really do wish, man, that I was life of the party, that I had a better personality, that I was less nervous, that I had less anxiety, that I was less, shy, that I was more, I had all the jokes and all the like that. Like I hang around people like, God, everything some people say is so clever, right? And I have nothing to say. I'm just so quiet. Maybe if someone asks me a question, I say something back. I'm a good listener. I'm not a good talker, right? If you're around, I know Shondel's the same way. And so when I see people like Bao, not to put her in the same basket as me, right? But it kind of gives me hope that you don't always have to be, so outgoing. You just have to be consistent and you have to just get better. And, how often are you doing outreach to new recruits? Every day. That's it, right? Here's what to say and do it every day. And one day you are going to be rich. Why? Because in order to be rich, you have to be doing what most people aren't willing to do. Then you can have what most people aren't going to have, right? It's a very simple formula. So I want to go over, as we